Hello, users, and welcome to another episodic broadcast, emphasis on broad, of the Above It All program. This is the Above It All program, and I am abroad, and we are broadcasting, and by we, I mean me, broadcasting. My hair is still in my shirt because I just put my clothes on. Because of course in the morning I am walking around the house naked, and so I gotta take my hair out of my clothes. So, but anyway, we got a show lined up, folks. Lined it up. I have a program here, a programmatic installation of the program. The little intro bit there is Donald James' little thing that they did a couple months ago that I never watched because I was a depressed freak. And so now it's in the intro rotation. So shout outs to Donald James X in the chat room, and go subscribe to their YouTube channel. So there you go. Got a show here today. And we're going to be doing the show. I feel like my eyeball is fucked up. Is my eyeball fucked up? Like, Jesus Christ. I don't know. I got like an eyeball thing going on. Anyway, got a show as well. Not only is my eyeball real, my eyeball exists, but I also have a show going on. So those are two distinct things. Those are things that occur in nature and in human history, of which we are subjected to both at this current moment in time. I don't think Donald James X is here, so, but, whenever they show up, be sure to shower them with praise. Anyway, got a program. I got a couple of news stories here, and then I want to get into some hot takes. I want to get into some hot takes. I love hot takes. Hot takes and hot news. I mean, the news isn't so hot. I don't know what to start off with. But yeah, fill out the survey. Everybody, the survey is, it's a survey. And as, it's a survey, so definitely go fill it out. Given the fact that it is a survey, and surveys are useful when you're filling it out. For me, so go ahead and do that. But anyway, I was just staring at a bunch of shit on this screen. Like, I got multiple screens, I'm like the goddamn, like when they show those like hacker scenes in like 1990s films or whatever, and they got the motherfuckers with you ever see Swordfish? Anyone here ever see Swordfish? I'm the Swordfish motherfucker. I got screens out the whim wham. So, but let's talk about Republicans to start the show. I love Republicans. This may not be something that I love Republicans. And so, you might be shocked to hear that, some stupid fucking tranny loves Republicans. I know, can you believe it? But why do I love Republicans? Why? Think about it. Because they're fucking hilarious, right? So this is another example of a hilarious situation with Republicans. Hope Hicks vented that Trump left his team unemployable on January 6th. Quote, "We look like domestic terrorists now." Oh, yeah. Wow. Okay, well, that's amazing. So once again, Republicans will never cease to amaze me with their blatant and nefarious careerist garbage. Like, Republicans, all of them, 100% of them, knew what Donald Trump was doing was fucking stupid. But they went along with it. Why? Because they're careerists. They thought, oh, hey, I was working for the former president. That's what they want to put on their resume. They want to hand in a resume, worked for the former United States of America, by the way, president, the 45th one, so good, amazing, now please hire me. And, well, needless to say, didn't turn out so well. So let's read here. Hope Hicks, a former White House aide under President Donald Trump, was among the staffers who complained that the Capitol riots may harm her career. Recently revealed text messages. So, not complaining that the Capitol riots are, I don't know, bad? Right? Bad! Murdering police, well, I don't know. Pipe bombs, bad. Neo-Nazis, bad. Hanging the vice president, but whatever, for the sake of, bad, right? But no. None of that matters, right? None of that matters. The only thing that matters is that Hope Hicks is going to have a rough time finding a job in the near future. As a group of Trump supporters descended on the U.S. Capitol on January 6, 2021, his own employees were frantically communicating with one another behind the scenes, openly questioning why the then president wasn't denouncing the violence and wondering what the quickly unraveling scene might mean for their careers. So, once again, while this whole bullshit is happening, these motherfuckers are like, oh shit, look, these crazy scumbags that we gave all of the motive for are descending upon the Capitol trying to overthrow the country, right? No, fuck that shit. Who cares? Pipe bombs trying to blow up buildings in a crowded city. Fuck that shit. Guns, who cares? Zip ties, who cares? Assassination plans, who cares? Not shitting all over the walls, who cares? But what really matters is that she's gonna have a hard time finding a job. And so let's read some more. In a series of textual exchanges between Hicks and Ivanka Trump's Chief of Staff Julie Radford, which were made public by the committee investigating the Capitol riots, the former aide writes, quote, "In one day, Trump ended every future opportunity. That doesn't include speaking engagements at the local Proud Boys chapter." Can you believe, by the way, I just want to say this. These are the scum of the earth. Scum of the earth. Now, I will say this much. I don't believe in the death penalty as a matter of principle. But when I read articles like this, hey, needless to say, it makes me rethink a position or two. Quote, "And all of us that didn't have jobs lined up will be perpetually unemployed. I'm so mad and upset," Hicks added. "We all look like domestic terrorists now." But why is it that you will be perpetually unemployed? Are you unable to go work at the Wawa that's down the street from the White House? Are you unable to go work at the 7-Eleven that's across the street from the Wawa? Again, it's in D.C. You can keep your D.C. apartment. Why don't you go work at the Wawa, motherfucker? Why don't you go work at the gas station? Why don't you go work at Five Guys? I don't know. So are they really unemployable? Or is it just, consequences for their actions are catching up with them? They're not unemployable. That's not true. They are employable. They just don't want to work. You know what the real problem with these fucking Republicans is they don't fucking want to work anymore. That's what the problem with these stupid, entitled, trust fund, baby, cocksucker, motherfucker Republicans is they don't want to work. None of these little fucking uppity pricks ever want to work. Why is that? How come working class people have to work and these Republican elite ivory tower cocksuckers are, I'm unemployable? Are you really? Or is it just that you don't want to have a job because you're lazy, fat, and stupid, just like the Home Depot guy said? So anyway, let's keep going. Hicks continued, quote, "This made us all unemployable, like untouchable. God, I'm so fucking mad." Radford echoed Hicks' concerns, writing that she had, quote, "been crying for an hour," and had already received a blow-up email from Visa indicating that a job offer for her post-White House life had failed to materialize. Quote, "I know, there isn't a chance of finding a job." Radford responded, "Really? Really? Well, I didn't know if you know this, but there's a labor shortage in this country, actually. Somehow, I don't know what happened, but 2 million Americans just died randomly, right? Who knows what happened? 2 million Americans just died totally randomly, didn't see it coming over the last couple years. So guess what? Now we have a labor shortage. So the idea that this stupid, fucking, entitled, prissy little fucking bitch is crying and whining about being unemployable, cry me a fucking river. Cry me a fucking river. How about this? Employment opportunity for Julie Radford and Hope Hicks. How about this? I will pay you, I will employ you to post pictures of yourself crying like a little bitch live on Twitter or whatever other social, Instagram, whatever. I will employ you to go and show everyone just how much of a little prick you are. How's that for employment opportunity? Elsewhere in the exchange, Hicks wrote, Alyssa looks like a genius, a remark that appears to be a reference to former White House Director of Strategic Communications Alyssa Farah Griffin, who resigned from her role weeks prior to the riots. By the way, just to say, these were not riots. It was an insurrection. A riot is what happens when a bunch of fucking 40 or 50-year-olds lose the Super Bowl in Philadelphia. That's a fucking riot, okay? This was not a riot. This was an insurrection. Okay? And also, looks like a genius? Really? Imagine this. I turn on the Weather Channel, right? It says, oh shit, it's gonna rain. There's a 99% chance of rain. I grab an umbrella. Hope Hicks is gonna be like, oh shit, that bitch with an umbrella, total genius. She looks like a genius right now. You see that bitch? How did she know it was raining? How did she know? Like, what the fuck? You had 3 months in between the election and January 6th. The writing was on the wall. I don't know what to fucking tell you. I mean, when we talk about the dumbest bitches in the history of dumb bitches, Hope Hicks on the list. Julie Radford on the list. The dumbest bitches in the history of dumb fuck motherfucking bitches. These bitches are on that goddamn list. Let me tell you. Blah, 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 blah. So anyway, that's the story. So yeah, anyway, this is why I like Republicans. They provide endless streams of entertainment directly into my eyeballs at a, they never cease to amaze me with this fucking shit. The same motherfuckers that write pen op-eds and fucking Quillette, Americans don't want to work anymore. I got rejected from working in pizza. I don't know, man. How about you go work at the gas station like a normal person, you little fucking trust fund baby cocksucker? Hey, I'm just saying. Little suggestion. So that's my opinion on Republicans. Got some coffee here. We got motherfucking Papa Legba in the chat. We got Tyler Hackna in the chat. We got Peter Charlie in the chat. We got Johnny Too Late in the chat. We got Fuss Puzz in the chat. We got Rialan in the chat. We got Sinkwell in the chat. We got Bob and Courtney in the chat. And theoretically many more that don't involve scrolling up. So welcome to the program, everybody. Once again, be sure to fill out this survey. I mean, it's the pinned bullshit, so fill out the fucking survey. I want to know what the fuck you think of this show. This isn't like one of those like big YouTube channels, right? Where it's like top down, I do whatever I want. This is an interactive experience. This is an interactive experience. You are part of this experience. You can shape, you can influence the influencer. That's me, I'm an influencer. But you can influence the influencer by filling out the survey today. So we got Farm and Astophilis Stupula. You dipped out. You missed a hell of a segment, let me tell you. But anyway, if you haven't filled out the survey, go ahead and do so. So here is some interesting news. In the state of West Virginia, now, I haven't watched this video yet, but in the state of West Virginia, an off-duty, I should say, if I were to follow the grammatical protocols of the English language, an off-duty police officer murdered a 13-year-old child with a vehicle. So let's watch this local news report for more information. Oh shit, it's the fucking audio's not
killed by a car.
Oh my god, the fucking audio here. Holy shit. Every one of these websites, man. Holy fucking fuck. Audio engineering are not these bitches' specialties.
West Virginia State Police say Lainey Hudson was hit and killed by a marked cruiser that was driven by an off-deputy Cabell County Sheriff's deputy. Now, since her death, family and friends have lined the streets of Huntington asking for a full investigation into what happened that night. News Channel 3's Kimberly Kagi shares their story and the latest on the investigation.
A honk for Lainey Hudson. West Virginia State Police say the 13-year-old was hit and killed on December 30th by a marked cruiser driven by an off-duty Cabell County Sheriff's deputy. It happened at...
So I have a question, just out of curiosity. Why is it that an off-duty officer is driving around a police car? Does anyone know? Like, why is that a thing?
The intersection of 31st Street and 5th Avenue. Since her death, family and friends have lined the streets of Huntington, waving signs, calling for a full investigation into what happened that night.
When I feel like I can't go on no more, like my voice won't carry me no more, I pray to Lainey and God. And they carry me through this. They are what's carrying us all through this.
Lainey's aunt, Jessica Sloan, has spent the last 3 days at the Cabell County Courthouse wanting to be heard.
To see that you guys have a crowd of people out here, what does that mean to you?
A lot. Lets us know just how much Lainey really was loved, how much she really is going to be missed, that her name's not going to die.
West Virginia State Police is investigating the incident. WSAZ...
Isn't that great, everybody? They're investigating. Now, I have a question. Let's just say I learned how to drive. I don't know how to drive. I don't have a driver's license. But let's just say I go to driver's school, get a license, get a car, and then go murder a 13-year-old with my car. Would there be an investigation into what happened? Or would I be brought to jail immediately? I'm just curious, right? Like, I'm just thinking about this out loud. Like, and if anyone wants to go out there with their car and murder a 13-year-old just, to see what happens, not that I'm advocating for that. I'm just saying, what the fuck is the difference between a human being and a police officer? Well, the difference is that police officers are not human beings, and therefore they should be charged and treated even worse than what we should do to human beings. And again, police officers are not human. What they are agents of evil. It's just that simple, right? They are agents that sold their soul to the government for a really shitty paycheck so that they could march through the streets and kill anybody that they want without any repercussions. That's what police are. Let's keep going.
He has learned the deputy behind the wheel passed 2 breathalyzer tests while on scene Friday night.
So, okay. So let's get this straight. The cop said that the other cop was totally sober, bro.
Investigators say the deputy's blood alcohol levels results were 0.0%. The deputy also passed a field sobriety test.
Is there proof of this? Police officers wear body cameras, right? They wear body cameras. They recorded the breathalyzer in real time, right? They recorded the field sobriety test in real time, right? Of course, because they all have body cameras. So why on earth would they not reveal that footage of the officer passing the breathalyzer tests and passing the field sobriety tests? Why wouldn't they reveal the footage? I'm just curious. Are we supposed to take these motherfuckers at their word? Really? Really? When they have recorded proof of what they're saying and they refuse to show it to us?
Which was given at the state police field office. State police say both tests are routine protocol in any incident where someone is killed.
He was given not only breath tests, which indicated he had not been drinking, he was also given field sobriety tests by a certified drug recognition expert.
Oh, they're a certified drug recognition expert. So, okay. Don't you have cameras at the field office? Really? You don't have a CCTV set up at the police station? Really? You don't? Why not? If there's no CCTV at the police station, who knows what could happen? But they do have a camera set up. They do have footage of all of these tests happening, and they refuse to show it. Why? Is it privacy concerns? Well, once you sign up to be an agent of the state, you don't have privacy. I'm sorry. You forfeited your privacy for the badge and the gun and the car in this instance. So, I don't know. And now, am I saying that the only way that this person is able or capable to commit this evil is because they are drunk? No, I'm not saying that. It's very possible that they were sober and did this on purpose, on accident, or just were reckless in being sober. A lot of sober people are reckless drivers. So I'm not saying that he necessarily must have been drunk. I'm just saying, if you have the proof, why not show it to us? Because I, and many Americans, do not take cops at their word. We don't trust what the fuck you have to say. Once again, when George Floyd was murdered by police, the original public press release that all the cops in the department signed off on said that, quote, a man died of a medical incident. All the officers involved signed off on it and wrote that press release and sent it off into the world. But for a teenager recording the actual incident on cell phone camera, we would have never known what happened to George Floyd. So we know for a fact that cops lie. I have been the victim of cops lying to me. Cops have charged me with fake crimes and forced me to go into the legal system. And I had to waste my life dealing with the lies that cops were saying about me. So I'm sorry. I don't trust police officers, right? And they have body cameras. They have CCTV. Why don't they show us the proof? It should be easy, right? It should be easy to show us the proof. You have it. It's right there. YouTube is not that hard to operate. Just upload the video.
One of our troopers has taken extensive training, and it ruled out any kind of impairment whatsoever.
WSAZ asked if the deputy's cruiser had a dash camera. Cabell County Sheriff Chuck Zirkle says none of the department's cruisers have dash cameras. Witnesses told troopers the deputy had
Pretty convenient, if you ask me.
a green light at the time of the incident, but investigators are in the process of removing the black box from the vehicle, which will determine the speed. While
All right. Here's a question. If you are a pedestrian crossing the crosswalk, and halfway through crossing the crosswalk, the light turns green, you have right of way. You got to finish. What are you supposed to do? Run back? You're in the middle of the crosswalk. Now, again, we don't really have many details here. But drunk or not, this is reckless driving. If you kill someone with your car, that is reckless driving. I don't know what else to fucking tell you. I don't know what else to fucking tell you.
Laney's family wants answers. State police say they'll come in due time.
From our point of view, the investigation point,
They'll come in due time. You know what that means? You'll have to wait 5 years before we give you useless information that doesn't tell you a damn thing about what happened. The idea that police officers, every time they kill people, they just have to wait 38 years before their investigation is complete. You know what that is for? You know what the reason for that is? They hope that you give up. They hope that you forget about it. They hope that they can do and complete a successful cover-up. That's their goal. That's why it always takes 79 decades for a police investigation to return any information at all. And usually the information is next to nothing, shit that we already knew in the first place.
point of view, he is not treated any different than any other driver.
Kimberly Keggy.
Oh, really? Oh! Because once again, cops have never lied before. Cops have never lied before in the history of the world, right? So, of course, when a cop says, we're treating them like anybody else, we'll believe them, right? Right? Of course.
WSAZ News Channel 3, Huntington.
After data was pulled from the black box, it'll be fully reviewed. A reconstruction team from out of the county will review the whole incident. The Cabell County Sheriff Chuck Zirkle says the sheriff's office is launching an internal investigation as well to make sure all policies were followed by the deputy. The sheriff says the investigation will be conducted by, again, an agency outside of Cabell County.
My question, what is to prevent them from lying about what's in this so-called black box? Why not just do the analysis on a live stream so that we can see the results in real time without any fuckery, right? Cops apparently have cameras all over the fucking place. So why can't we just do that? The reason is because cops lie and cops protect each other. And one of the ways they protect each other is by lying. So, hey, it's totally possible 13-year-old girl deserved it. She jumped into traffic, stupid fucking bitch. But you know what? I'm inclined to probably say that the cop is the one who's at fault here. I'm willing to say it's a 99% chance that the cop is the one at fault. Is it remotely possible that this 13-year-old was just feeling suicidal that day? Hey, we know that the second highest the second highest death rate for people in the age bracket of 5 to 17 is suicide. Totally possible, right? Hey, kids love killing themselves. We got 50,000 suicides a year in this country, so it's totally possible. But if you ask me what's more likely, what would I bet my money on? I would bet my money that the cop is a reckless piece of fucking shit and wasn't looking what they were doing. So anyway, there's an update there in West Virginia. Cops are really, they're sending their best. You know, a lot of the phrase usually is they're not sending their best, but I guarantee you these are the best they have. So there you go. It's a good question, Abner. I don't know. So anyway, we got a show here, doing a program. How's everyone doing today? Reminder to fill out the survey. Reminder, got a survey going on. Anyone hear about the survey? Anyone heard about it? Anyone? This is a survey. Waiting for Q to find out the identity of the tie-wearing weirdo on your new screen. How does everyone like the new screen, by the way? Any good? This is to symbolize the new arc that we are entering, which is the Fuck It All arc of the Above It All program. Fuck you, fuck me, and fuck everybody. Fuck humans. I'm done. So that's the symbology there. So the next segment I'm going to do is the theoretically 90-year-long COVID segment. So brace for fucking impact. Put that seatbelt on. Click it in. Is anyone else, is there anything more satisfying than the click of a seatbelt? I love a good click. I love a good, like, mechanical mechanism, you know? Like, you know what sucks? This fucking shit. You can't click buttons on this fucking shit. Look, it's Max the dog. You can't click buttons on this shit. What the fuck? I love clicking a good goddamn button, you know? Everyone. That's why I love the space bar. Check this out. Check this out. Hold on. God, that's amazing. Did you hear that? Did you? I'm going to do it again, but without moving the mic. Fuck. I mean, that's amazing, right? Like, I mean, there's nothing better. Wait. Fuck, man. I mean, the space bar. Holy shit. So, shout outs to the space bar. Oh, fuck. Max the dog is somewhere. He was appearing on screen earlier. He had a little cameo appearance during the Republicans. In the survey, what does insert identification keywords mean? That means if you want to tell me your name or not. Or you can make it a riddle if you want. I don't mind. Let's check this out one more time. One more time, everybody. Do it with me. Do it with me. 3, 2, 1. God damn. Fuck. Love that shit. Anyway, just brace for impact here. Let me take some more coffee. That's right. That's what I say. I'm gonna take some coffee. I'm gonna do some coffee. You know. Delete needs to be a bigger button. Like, delete's just a small square, you know? Enter is okay. Y'all know those, like... Y'all, like, you know, Tyler's not going to know what the fuck I'm talking about, but hopefully everyone else is. You know those old-ass, like, beige, you know, like 1980s, 1990s keyboards where, like, the enter key was, like, a fucking, like, weird, like, L thing going on, you know what I mean? Right? You know that thing? Like, the giant-ass enter button? Does anyone remember that shit? The fucking, or it was called the return button, at, you know, whatever it was. It was like, it went like this and then this. It was like a Tetris piece. You know what I mean? That shit. Oh, man. There's nothing better than like typing on a DOS prompt, right? You do the fucking change directory, you know, directory, whatever. And then you fucking, right? Oh, God, fuck. I need that in my life. Anyway, what I don't need in my life, COVID. Everybody. The holiday hating freak show is here to tell you once again why anybody that enjoys Thanksgiving, Christmas, or any of those stupid fucking holidays is actually a goddamn idiot. Exhibit 75,694. So let's look at this. XBB.1.5 may be most transmissible subvariant of Omicron to date, scientists warn. Really? So once again, let's recap here. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. Now, words, English language. I believe in the English language. Control. What does control mean? To manage it, right? To theoretically isolate it, right? To hopefully reduce, right? Prevention. What does prevention mean? To try to make it not even happen in the first place, you know? Suicide prevention, right? You know, we have cancer prevention, right? So centers... there's multiple centers for disease. What is a disease? I don't know. COVID sounds like a disease to me. Control and prevention. Control and prevention. So now that we've identified and defined basic words in the English language, let's look at what the CDC was doing over the last couple of months. The CDC has a reporting guideline of reporting information on new variants once variants reach around at least 1% of the total COVID pool. So 100% would be all confirmed and identified and recorded COVID cases. Now we know that that's a fraction of the bucket of COVID cases in this country because most people test and don't ever tell anyone about it, especially the CDC. Right, so that would be the 100% is the little bit of data we have. So once a new variant reaches 1%, the CDC is supposed to report it. XBB hit that 1% threshold a week before Thanksgiving. A week before Thanksgiving, the CDC announced this new variant on December 30th, 5 days after Christmas. So they identified the variant, figured out how dangerous it was, and then told nobody until nearly a week after Christmas. Now, I see that information and I say, throw in the towel, lock them up. That's what I see. I say, march Rochelle Walensky out in handcuffs. Hey, once again, Donald Trump's administration brought back the death penalty. Now, I am morally opposed to the death penalty, which is why I want to control and prevent COVID from spreading throughout this country. However, if we are going to execute black people for doing crimes that they never committed, why don't we have that same standard for people that covered up a disease that is going to cause the deaths of tens of thousands of people? Why is that? We have no problem as a country executing black people for robbing a 7-Eleven of $250 in 1987. That's fine. Kill them all, right? As far as America is concerned. But people that are responsible for the deaths of millions, they get to walk free? Now, once again, I am opposed to the death penalty. I would prefer not to kill anybody. I would prefer for the state to kill nobody, which in this instance would mean Rochelle Walensky should resign because she is a murderer. She is a murderer. You ask me this, right? Why do I pick on the CDC so much? These are the people in charge. I am some stupid dumb fuck high school dropout in my bedroom. I'm not in charge. I'm not paid by the government. For the same reason that I'm against police brutality, why am I against police brutality? Because I do not think the state should inflict violence on its constituents. That is why I'm opposed to the death penalty. That is why I am opposed to police brutality. That is why I'm opposed to prison brutality. That is why I'm opposed to capitalism. And for the same reason that I am opposed to the CDC's current governance of this pandemic. Again, their own guidelines say that they must report on new variants once it reaches above 1%. They waited until it reached 40% prevalence in COVID population. 40%, it's over. And then Joe Biden said, yo, there's going to be new variants coming out of China. China, they got new variants. Wuhan flu coming back. That's what Biden said. Meanwhile, the most deadly and transmissible variant that we have seen has originated in New York and Connecticut. Isn't that interesting? The American government says China's zero COVID policy is authoritarian. China's like, all right, fine. We'll do it. We'll let COVID rip just like America. And so America got exactly what they asked for. And then they turned around to China and said, fuck you anyway. Meanwhile, the United States had a new super variant and they kept it secret from the motherfucking world for 2 months. Isn't that interesting? A month and a half, I guess. Isn't that a little strange? Doesn't that fucking... So, we're so concerned about a new variant from China. Why would a new variant happen in China and not Europe? Why would a new variant happen in China and not Canada? What is so special about China? Oh, because they're Asian people, and we don't like Asian people in this country. That's why. Joe Biden does not like Asian people in this country. Where is hashtag Stop Asian Hate? When Donald Trump was trying to do anti-Chinese propaganda, xenophobic speeches, blaming Chinese people and Chinese citizens of the United States for what the government of a country they've never lived in has been doing, everyone rightfully called him racist. When Joe Biden does it, so brave, just doing what needs to be done. Isn't that crazy? Isn't that weird? I don't know. Anyway, let's read this article. Now that we've done the catch-up, now that we've played catch-up, let's jump in. Health experts voiced concern Wednesday over the rapid growth of the new Omicron sublineage, XBB.1.5, also known in some virologist circles as the Kraken variant, advising the public to stay informed but not alarmed as they work to learn more. Informed but not alarmed. What the fuck does that mean? What does that mean? Informed but not alarmed. Now, hurricane is coming. It's gonna fuck us up. Cat 5, Cat 6, Cat 7. It's a new super hurricane. It's like 5 hurricanes that like combined, and now it's the size of Texas, right? That hurricane's gonna fuck us up. Imagine government officials saying, stay informed but not alarmed. What? Jesus Christ. Okay. Over the month of December, the percentage of the new COVID-19 infections in the United States caused XBB to rise from an estimated 4% to 41%. Once again, it reached 1% prevalence halfway through November. That is a stunning increase, Dr. Ashish Jha, so-called, I should say, Dr. Ashish Jha, the so-called White House, so-called, quote, COVID-19 response coordinator, wrote in a Twitter thread. Do you think the White House was aware of XBB.1.5 on November 17th? The CDC was. The CDC was analyzing just how dangerous this variant was. Do you think they told the White House? What about November 18th? Why didn't this so-called doctor release this Twitter thread on November 18th, the week before Thanksgiving, and the day after the CDC reported internally that it had reached 1% prevalence? Why is that? The so-called White House COVID-19 response coordinator, am I supposed to believe that this guy, who is the so-called White House, so-called COVID-19, so-called response, so-called coordinator, just wasn't coordinating with the CDC for a month and a half? A month and a half. Wasn't coordinating with the CDC? He didn't know? Or is it that he did know and he participated in the cover-up? Millions of dead motherfuckers in this country. Millions of dead motherfuckers in this country. Officials at the World Health Organization shared similar thoughts on Wednesday. We are concerned about its growth advantage, said Maria van Kerkhove, an epidemiologist who is at the HO's technical lead on COVID-19. Now, I just want to say this. My same criticisms of the CDC also apply to the World Health Organization. What the fuck are they doing? These people are bought and paid for by genocidal maniacs. Hey, I don't want to sit here and tell you that these people are as bad as Adolf Hitler. But did Adolf Hitler kill anyone? Think about it. No. This is not Holocaust revisionism. Hear me out. Did Adolf Hitler kill anybody? No. He directed other people to kill people. And then they did. They were just following orders. Then, what happened after the Holocaust and World War II? We had the Nuremberg trials. And all of these Nazi soldiers were sitting and saying, I was just following orders. Wasn't me. It was the guy up top. And you know what we did? We hung those motherfuckers in the public square. That's what we did. So, I ask you this. Is Rochelle Walensky the genocidal freak in charge? Or is she just following orders? And also, part 2 of that question, does it fucking matter? How many millions of motherfuckers have died in the world from this pandemic that was easily preventable? Because people at the CDC in the United States or the WHO failed to do their job. But did they really fail? Did they really fail? Or were they bought and fucking paid to keep their yap shut? Think about it. Millions of dead motherfuckers. Now, again, I'm not trying to engage in any sort of Holocaust revisionism. The Holocaust is horrible. But what I want to say is that we can rightly say that the Holocaust is terrible, and we also can rightly say that this pandemic is purposeful and intentful genocide. It's genocide. I don't know what to tell you. This is a genocide. Who are the most targeted populations? Poor people, disabled people, elderly people. For the first couple of years of the pandemic, black people are the victims. Rich people, they're fine. When's the last time you've seen a rich person die from COVID? Think about it. When's the last time a rich person has died from COVID that you've seen in the news? Does anyone know? When's the last time a poor person has died from COVID? Well, according to the statistics, a poor person died during the time that you have been watching the stream or video. And if you really want to look at statistics, several dozen poor people have died in the last hour. How many rich people have died? Now, I have a question. Is it genocide if I know that there's a hurricane coming and I don't tell anybody? Maybe not. Maybe that's just neglect. Is it genocide if I know a hurricane is coming and I only tell my white, affluent neighbors? Is that genocide? Yes. And that's what's happening in this country. This is genocide. This is genocide. They are systematically, willfully, intentfully committing a mass slaughter of minorities, disabled people, black people, poor people, etc., indigenous people, immigrants, etc., knowingly, intentfully, systematically committing a genocide. Now, a lot of people get triggered when I say that. They get, oh, you gotta move on. Americans are so fucking stupid that they're marching along with the genocide. Only 15% of this country has gotten the recent bivalent booster shot. 15% of this country. Now we ask, how did the Holocaust happen? How did everyone allow the Nazis to take power, to build death camps, and to systematically kill Jewish people, immigrants, gay people, etc.? How did we let that happen? How did people stand by and allow for that to happen? Hey, we don't need to ask those questions anymore. We don't. We don't. We know how. Just go outside. Go to the grocery store and count the amount of people that you see wearing masks. And the amount of people that you see not wearing masks. That's how. This is purposeful, intentful genocide by the rich, and Americans are marching in lockstep. They agree. The majority of Americans, and if you look at vaccination status, 85% of Americans agree genocide is good as long as I get to have my Wendy's. I'm pro-genocide as long as I can get my hair cut. Fuck all the black people, disabled people, indigenous people, and immigrants, as long as I can go to my car show and gun show. That's the average American, 85%. Not even average. That is almost every American in this country. They are fine killing other people so that they can get a haircut. American exceptionalism, folks. Van Kerkhove noted that XBB.1.5, which was first detected in the United States, has spread to at least 29 countries and is the most transmissible form of Omicron to date. Quote, "We do expect further waves of infection around the world, but that doesn't have to translate into further waves of death because our countermeasures continue to work." Do they? Do they? What countermeasures? Vaccination? Well, I don't know about the worldwide numbers, but in America, only 15% have gotten the most recent vaccine for the most recent versions of this virus. Only 15%. And we know that the vaccine does not prevent infection. We know that the vaccine only really prevents hospitalization most of the time. So, if only 15% of people are getting a shot that prevents hospitalization and death, what does that do for the other 85? Now, I'm going to go out and say a couple more things here, and I'm going to wrap this into another one of my favorite topics. And feel free to share this video, by the way, with anybody that you think needs to have this information. Food. What? I thought we were talking about COVID. We are. Food. Did you know that 95% of Americans do not eat fruits or vegetables? I ask you this question. When's the last time you've eaten a fruit or a vegetable? I'm not talking about Capri Sun. I'm not talking about whatever bullshit processed fucking garbage, lettuce on a hamburger. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about real fruit, real vegetables. 95% of Americans do not eat fruit or vegetables. 93% of Americans have metabolic syndrome. What is metabolic syndrome? Metabolic syndrome essentially means your body is fucked up. It's a symptom, it's a cluster of symptoms that mostly result in inflammation and reduced immune system. What happens when you eat junk food every day of your life is your gut microbiome is in pieces. Did you know that there are trillions, possibly quadrillions, of bacteria that live inside of your body? I ask you this question. Kings, queens, royalty, if they were eating all the food and starving the peasants, and the peasants started to revolt, would you blame them? Would you blame them if the peasants went into the castle and murdered that king, beheaded that motherfucker because they were being starved? Because that's what's happening in your body. If you are 95% of Americans, that is what's happening in your body. When you eat junk food, which Americans eat every single day, what's happening is you are poisoning your body. Okay? What's happening is the bacteria in your gut, in your intestines, etc., are not being fed. So what do? Just lie down and die? Well, evolution and life doesn't work that way. When it comes to evolution, those creatures that are willing to lie down and die don't procreate, right? They don't divide. They don't create offspring. They don't whatever. So the bacteria in your body that laid down and died are gone, and what's left are the bacteria that are going to fight the system, the revolutionaries. And how do they fight the system? By eating you. If you do not feed the bacteria in your gut, they gotta eat somehow, and what they do is they eat you. And that is why a lot of Americans deal with chronic inflammation. What is inflammation? Your body's immune system is constantly being strained because it is fighting off bacteria that is eating you from the inside. 93% of Americans are having this happen in their body right now. 93%. You don't believe me? Look it the fuck up. So, when we live in a country where 95% of Americans don't eat fruit or vegetables, and 93% of Americans are having their own bacteria colonies eating them from the inside, wasting their own immune system resources, guess what happens? COVID walks right in. Let's get back into the guard tower, watchtower, compound analogy. Let's imagine, right, you got to break into this like heavily guarded, fortified fort, right? It's got watchtowers, we got snipers. There's no way in hell you're going to get, they got searchlights. There's no way you're going to get in there. They got mines everywhere. You can't get in. But you got to get in somehow. You're COVID. That's your mission. That's your life mission. You got to get in. Now imagine if all the guards, all the snipers in the watchtowers, all the, drones, all the turrets, whatever you want to imagine in your action film, video game fantasy. Imagine if they all turned inside the castle, inside this fort, and they started shooting and defending an onslaught from the inside of the fort. Guess what would happen? Their defenses are down, and COVID takes advantage and walks right in. So, why is it, by the way, that you have never seen? Never. Has Anthony Fauci talked about our diet? No. Has Rochelle Walensky talked about our diet? No. Has Joe Biden talked about our diet? No. Has Aziz Jha talked about our diet? No. Has Maria Van Kerkhove talked about our diet? No. None of these people give a fuck. The CDC, have they talked about our diet? Nope. The Centers for Disease, what is a disease? Well, chronic diseases such as metabolic syndrome, that's a disease. Why doesn't the CDC try to control and prevent that? Because it's intentional. That's the point. You are being murdered on purpose. Processed food companies buy government officials so that they can continue to poison you. And it's a win-win. The government gets paid, and any potential revolution or overthrowing of the government is put at bay because 93% of Americans are sick all the time. 93% of Americans do not even know what being healthy feels like. Think about that. So 93% of Americans, a lot of them might walk around thinking they're healthy, but they're not. They might walk around thinking that they're good to go, but they're not. Why? Because it's been normalized. They've always felt that way. Well, I'm not actively, sneezing and coughing, so I must be good to go. And do Americans think about this stuff? No. Because those same government politicians that got bought and paid for by the food industry got bought and paid for by other industries and are putting their ideology into our schools. Have you been to a nutrition class in school? If you are, chances they told you low fat's the way to go. High carb, low fat. That's what schools were teaching up until a couple of years ago. High carbs, low fat. That is, and I shit you not, the exact opposite of what we need. They told you the opposite. Now imagine a gun safety instructor told you that the best way to use your gun is to always make sure it's loaded all the time and to always point the gun at people if you don't intend to shoot. Hell, what if a gun safety instructor said the best way to hold a gun is by pointing it at yourself? You'd feel pretty fucking stupid if you listen to that guy, right? Chances are you're in the same position when it comes to your diet. So isn't it weird that the most effective way to boost our immune system is ignored by the people that are theoretically in charge of helping us? Little strange. So you can read this, he's just saying, yeah, it can slip past our immune defenses. Wow, I wonder why, I wonder how. Look at this. And if we all do our part, he wrote, we can reduce the impact it will have on our lives. That's a little fun fantasy story. Yeah. If Americans actually gave a shit, yeah, we could reduce the impact. But they don't. And why don't Americans give a shit? Because you have systematically, you being the government in this instance, have systematically ripped their ability to give a shit out of their body? Yeah. If. Keyword. If. If we cared about something, we could stop it. We don't. So we won't. Hopefully another 1 million, 2 million, 3 million, 5 million, 10 million Americans die. Right? That's what the government wants. So to all these anti-vaxxer, anti-masker, anti-healthy eating, fucking weirdos, creeps, QAnon freaks, they're skeptical of Big Pharma. And then they're falling right back into where the government wants them to be. Cold, depressed, dysfunctional, diseased, and alone. The most effective ways to combat COVID-19. 1. Masking. Wear a fucking mask. 2. Vaccine. Get the fucking vaccine. 3. Fruits and motherfucking vegetables. So, but that's not going to happen. Because Americans are suicide bombers. Once again, I say this and I mean this with all sincerity. Who is worse? Who is more morally corrupt and evil in a zero-sum fashion? We're talking about facts. We're talking about the real world. 9/11 hijacker or the average American? Who is more responsible for death and illness? A 9/11 hijacker or the average American? Think about it. Think about it. Next time you go to the grocery store, take a look around. And just imagine if all of these maskless weirdos were singing some Islamic song and saying Allahu Akbar. Just imagine, right? Because Americans hate Muslims, so that's why I'm trying to use this analogy. Americans are so fucking racist in this country, so this is the best way I can think of on how to communicate this to the average dumb fuck shit for brains. So, there you go. There's your hour-long COVID segment. I don't know how long that was. So anyway, If anyone has any issues or feedback on my messaging, feel free to let me know. Yeah. I really don't understand how anybody is okay with this shit. I really don't. I can't figure it out, man. Like, I got it easy. Right now, work from home. I'm an introvert anyway. I don't like leaving the house anyway. I got it on easy mode. Right? So, I don't know how these motherfuckers who are playing life on hard mode are okay with this shit. Like, imagine having to go work at Wendy's every day. Like, why are these people not rebelling in some fashion? Well, the answer is they're chronically diseased, depressed, and malnourished. That's the answer. So if you consider yourself a leftist, if you consider yourself anti-establishment, take a look at your diet. Oh. Are you really anti-establishment if you eat Hot Pockets? Really? Are you? I don't know. Maybe. And you know, the thing about, I get one of the major criticisms I receive, that I think has merit. I get a lot of criticism, but one of the major criticisms I receive that I actually think has merit, but that I'm choosing to not act on, is that Americans fundamentally are toddlers. They're toddlers. They're little babies. And so is yelling at the baby really gonna help them learn? Is screaming at a toddler to eat their vegetables really the best way to get them to eat their vegetables? You know what? I'm willing to say probably not. But you know what? I think, fuck it. I'm mad. I'm angry. And you know what? The idea that I should be infantilizing people that are older than me, that I should be treating adults like they're 3 or 4, I'm sorry. I don't agree. I just don't agree. Now, it's true that the average American is mentally 5, maybe 6 years old at best. That's true. That's a fact. But you know what? Fuck them. Fuck them. That's my opinion. So that's why I take my approach of yelling at people. I don't know. Is it the most effective? Maybe not. But am I really going out here trying to change the world? No one's watching my show anyway, so fuck it. Realon gifted 5 memberships! Thanks. Got some goddamn re-ups here. One of my favorite parts about the membership thing is when it gives memberships to people that are lurking. Like, yeah, we got some of these lurkers here. They haven't said anything, but they're here to get the money. Yeah, that's right. They're, you know. But yeah, thank you, Realon. Goddamn Realon's making it rain up in this bitch, as the kids say. Of which I am not. I am not a kid. Yeah, shout outs to the lurkers. You don't need to chat, you know, it's all good. I love teasing the lurkers. I mean, I love teasing in general, but the lurkers. Fucking beeping sound? What the fuck? But yeah, that's pretty much my show today. I want to chill for a little bit. I don't want to leave yet. You know, maybe do a little bit of Q-cock. If anyone has anything they want to ask. Can you give a membership to someone who's not here? That was a microwave? It might have been. I don't know. It's possible. But, yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I'm at my wit's end. So, Brew Holloway, member for 4 months. Thank you. How many responses did you get for your survey? So far, because of the amount of ungrateful fuckface viewers, I've gotten 20 responses. 35 viewers, 20 responses. 100 clicks, 20 responses. Fill out the motherfucking survey. You don't need to say your name. You can fill it out like, you know, in 4 minutes and be as simplistic as you want. Fill out the fucking survey. Thank you. How much weed do I smoke a day? I haven't smoked, vaped, or dabbed weed in many, many months. My preferred method of ingestion is via the liver. Don't yell at me. Oh, I might need to. But I'm taking a break from all drugs except for caffeine and mushrooms for the time being. But yeah, I think if I were to utilize the powers of my crystal ball, I'm willing to suggest that I'm entering the, once again, I'm entering the fuck it all phase of this show. And so, you know, if that is not like something you enjoy, now's the time to unsubscribe. Study from Cleveland says the more vaccine shot you get, shot singular, the more the people got COVID. So less COVID amongst people with 1 shot versus people with 3 shots. All right. Get the fuck out of here, you stupid ass bitch. The idea that you can think. Now, I will say, it is possible that people that are more vaccinated are more likely to flaunt masking and therefore more likely to get infected because they're so fucking stupid that they think the vaccine prevents infection. That's possible, but that has nothing to do with vaccine efficacy. And if you think it does, you're a fucking moron. Learn how to read, go to school, engage in media literacy. I don't know what to tell you. The last time I smoked weed was during the Jackson Hinkle debate. I've probably smoked since then, maybe. Probably a couple times since then. Who was? I have no idea. Just some stupid ass fucking whore. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's my own filter bubble. Maybe I'm getting disconnected from the rest of the species. But the way I see it, the rest of the species is getting disconnected from me. That's how I see it. That's my perception. You know, I want to strive for constant improvement. I want to always increase the quality of my life. Other people, they want to decrease the quality of their life. And they want to decrease the quality of life of everyone around them. I don't get it. I don't motherfucking get it. I don't understand murder. I don't understand abuse. I don't understand assault. And I don't understand negligence. I don't get it. These things don't make sense to me. But it's the norm. 85% of Americans. That's the norm. I don't know. So many motherfuckers have no clue what it is to be hospitalized. I've been hospitalized many times as a kid. I've said this before, and I don't want to be like one of those people that says like, I don't want to be like one of those like faith healer kind of sounding motherfuckers. But when I was young, I was chronically ill. I had multiple issues. I was an obese child. I had multiple problems, health problems. I had asthma. I had breathing problems. I had gastrointestinal problems. I had all kinds of issues. As soon as I fixed my diet, all of them went away. Now, again, that's anecdotal. I'm not here to tell you that fixing your diet is going to solve your issues. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just telling you my experience. I have not had any issue breathing at all, other than maybe when I've got a face full of bong smoke. I've not had an issue breathing at all in 4 years. When did I fix my diet? 4 years ago. So, hey, I'm just saying, I have a lot of experience being in the medical system as a kid, and not a single fucking doctor out of the hundreds that I've probably seen when I was young actually did anything to help me. I had to help myself. Now, am I saying don't trust doctors? That's not what I'm saying. I'm just telling you my story. I had to help myself. When I lost health insurance for multiple years and I was like, fuck, if I go back to the hospital, it's over for me. I got my shit together, fixed my diet, and I've been fine ever since. So, am I saying that fixing your diet is going to solve all your issues? I don't know. Now, keep in mind, I'm 26 right now. I'm young. People that have had shitty diets for way longer, it's going to take way more effort and maybe more kinds of medical intervention to fix themselves. But it's never too late to start. It's never, ever too late to start. So if you think, oh, I'm 45, it's too late for me, just going to eat Hot Pockets and Swanson dinners until the day I die. I mean, if you're suicidal, hey, I feel it. I've been suicidal. But what I'm saying is, it doesn't have to be that way. It doesn't. Tabitha Brown talked about going vegan and how it fixed her health problems with migraines. That's awesome. Now again, I'm not gonna lie to you. A lot of the time I eat unhealthy food. A lot. Over the last couple months, I'm not gonna lie, I've had some really unhealthy foods. But you know what I do every day, no matter what, is I eat something healthy every day. Something with fiber in it. I try to eat fruits or vegetables at least every day, and if I've somehow managed to forget a day, I'm definitely not going to let that happen 2 days in a row. So I'm not saying you should never eat junk food. It's a drug. It's like coffee. It's a drug. Did y'all know, here's a fun fact. I learned this recently. Did y'all know that 20% of kids have non-alcoholic fatty liver disease? 20% of kids. How does that happen? 1 in 5 children have non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. How? The answer is soda. Soda is the answer. The way your body metabolizes whiskey is the same exact process that your body undergoes when processing fructose, which is in soda. However, there's one difference. What is alcohol? Alcohol is fermented sugar. Fermented sugar. What does fermented mean? It means some kind of bacteria, yeast, whatever, is processing the sugar and turning it into something else. Alcohol. Alcohol is a form of sugar. It just has undergone one layer of processing, one layer of metabolizing by life forms that are not you. Fructose is arguably, in some ways, more dangerous than alcohol. Think about it. If you drink a whole bottle of vodka, there is an extremely high chance you are going to vomit before you even get a third of the way through. But how many kids do you see drink multiple cans of sodas? When I was a kid, I am 26. So I am very in line with this generational issue that I face. I used to drink 2 liters of soda every day when I was a kid. Every single day, I would have 2 liters of soda. So I'm fucked up. But I got my shit together early. I could have spent another 10 years going down that path. And you know what? This is why I don't like parents. Now, again, I know a lot of people have kids in my chat, and, I hope to God that you're not like my parents. But I was abused. That's abuse. Now, I was physically abused in a lot of ways, and emotional, blah, blah, blah. But, feeding children soda, ice cream, fast food is abuse. It is no different than giving a 7-year-old whiskey. It is no different than giving a 7-year-old a pack of cigarettes. But the idea of giving your 7-year-old vodka every day, no one would ever think of doing that. And yet, it's breakfast. Let's eat some cereal. What is cereal? Sugar. High fructose corn syrup. Sugar metabolizes in the same way as alcohol. And yet, millions of kids all across the country eat sugar cereal for breakfast every single day. And now, can I really blame the parents? Yeah, I can. I blame society and I blame the parents. I blame society for creating stupid fucking citizens that feel the need to procreate, even though I never consented to any of this. And then I blame the parents for having kids and not bothering to read a single fucking book about how to fucking raise them. So we get generations of unwanted, neglected, and abused children. And then they have kids. And then they abuse their kids. So that's why I don't like parents. Now, again, I don't say that as a generalized thing, like all parents are bad. I don't want to sound like one of those people that says the act of having a kid is morally evil or whatever. But what I'm saying is, if you have a kid, your life is over. That's a decision that you can make, and your life is over. The moment that you become pregnant, you're done. You have no life. If that sounds scary to you, don't have a kid. If you are insistent on enjoying your life as much as possible and neglecting your child, you're just creating more problems than you're solving. So, my opinion is, if anybody has a kid, their entire life should be devoted to making sure their kid has a great great childhood, healthy childhood, etc. Now, am I saying the parents should have no free time? That's not what I'm saying. Get a babysitter every once in a while. Go out, have a good time. You know, we all need it. Having a good time once in a while makes you a better parent. Then the stress has a way to, the pressure gets, it's like it's like the steam coming out of the holes, you're getting some of the pressure out. So yes, you got to take care of yourself. But the idea that parents just come home from work and drink alcohol and ignore their children, I'm sorry. You belong in jail, as far as I'm concerned. But, then that creates more problems. Then the kid goes into foster homes, orphanages, whatever. And then those systems and institutions are corrupt as hell. So once again, we could have solved all of these problems by just not having the stupid fucking kid in the first place. You know what's crazy about parents? I'm willing to bet. Now, I'm pulling this stat out of my asshole. I don't know how you would even get a stat like this, to be honest. So I'm pulling this out of my asshole, right? But most parents have children as a narcissism complex, a part of their narcissism complex. Most parents have children so that they can name their child something that they thought would be cool, or they can teach their kid to do what they do, so that they can have someone to pass on their stupid fucking whatever to. They don't actually give a shit about the kid in any other fashion other than, this is my kid and I do what I want to my kid. I say, fuck that noise. That's what I say. Narcissists should not be allowed to have kids. I don't know. If I consider being Speaker of the House, let me talk to. I am willing to throw my hat in the ring for sure. My opinion is, if having a kid is part of your narcissistic life goals, instead of having a kid, spend all of that time, money, resources, and effort on starting a business. If you want to have a child just because you think it'd be cool to name them after someone or whatever, or to, indoctrinate them into being a Jesus freak or whatever, and you're planning on neglecting that kid, or if you're going to be a horrible... Put all of that money, time, energy, resources, effort into your most passionate hobby. And I guarantee you, everyone will be better as a result. So, tough on parents. That's going to be... I want to run for office just so that I get people, to pay attention to me in an abstract way. And then I want to go on a debate stage and be tough on parents. Just to see what happens. I want to get a wider audience for this kind of shit, man. Because could you imagine, Republicans, a generic Republican listening to this show? Imagine the outrage that those snowflake motherfuckers would feel. I'd get tomatoes thrown at me. I'd have people trying to assassinate me if I said this shit in, a debate stage in a national audience. I'd have people dox my whole family. And you know what? It'd be hilarious, too. I'm willing. Just gotta wait for the right opportunity. Oh yeah, liberals would freak the fuck out. Because, I would at some point in my argument, I would specify, yeah, this applies to the fucking liberals too. And then they're gonna go, oh my god! Go to the local school board meeting? Yeah. That's good, because I have no kids, and I'm a tranny freak, and I'm going to be tough on parents. Dude, I would get killed. That's instant death. I walk in that building and utter one sentence, I'm done. I'm done. I'm going to get tackled and beaten down live on stream if that happens. Jesus Christ. A different version of suicide by cop, yep. Well, yeah, I don't know. So, if hypothetically you're more interested in the ranting and raving portions of this program, I can guarantee you that that is the direction I am heading in. I am abandoning all pretense of pretending that the average American has any value. I'm done pretending that the average human being has any value. I don't believe in that shit. Now, what I do believe is that I want human beings to have value. I want human beings to thrive. But you know what? I'm going to be honest. Having lived in this world for 26 years, I'm not a fan of my fellow humans. Let's be real. And I don't think they're a fan of me. So I say, let the war begin. God damn. Threw in the towel years ago. Yeah, I mean, you know, I threw in the towel last year for sure. I mean, it's a process. You know, but I would say 2022 has broken entirely my faith in humanity. Entirely. Like, I'm done. I'm done coddling people. I'm done pretending that grown adults, people that are older than me, need to be treated like toddlers. I'm done. I'm sorry. I refuse. Anybody that believes in any stupid fucking garbage religion, I'm done with you. You're trash. If you believe in capitalism, which is a religion, you're trash. If you believe in Christianity, you're trash. Etc. In 2020 and 2021, I thought that the conditions of the world that we were living in would wake people up. That's what I know, right? Can you believe it? Right? Right? I know. Stupid fucking bitch alert, right? But I actually thought that when people saw what was going on in this country, 2020, remember the mass protests in 2020? I was like, holy shit. Okay, so Americans are going woke. We're going to actually do something. 2021, a lot of protests in 2021. Of course, last year I was heavily involved in protest, or not last year, 2021, I was heavily involved in protesting. So I was thinking, fuck yeah, this is it. Americans are waking up. And needless to say, I no longer believe that. So. So, I don't know. Does Max like his PJs? Yes. Where is Max? Is he behind me? He's not. Maxie, where are you? Oh! Oh! I'm going to take a picture of this dog and then show it to you. Okay, check this out. Look at this dog. Are you seeing this shit? Are you seeing this shit? Is this visible to you? This is what I have to deal with? This is like, I have to put up with this fucking shit every day of my life. Can you believe this? It is hard having, like, how do I have any hobbies? Right? How do I even sit down and eat food when this is staring me in the face? It is rough out here. Get it? Rough? Is anyone filling out this fucking survey? Like, I mean, like, come on! What the fuck? Is it really so fucking much to ask, you fucking cretins, to fill out a motherfucking 5-minute long fucking survey? Do y'all ADHD rattled fucking dumb fucks not have the fucking attention span to do a 5 fucking minute survey? Fuck! So, hey, if you filled out the survey, you're good. I'm not screaming at you. If you filled it out, you're good to go. You're on my team. You're sitting behind me pointing and laughing at the freaks. This is you in the back. You're like, that's you in the back, pointing at the freaks. Ableist? Oh, I'm not ableist. Settle down. We all have ADHD here. Don't want to. Well, that's what I have to say. Y'all know I'm teasing. Y'all know I'm teasing. Motherfuckers watching this show for God knows how long. Y'all know I'm fucking teasing you. It's friendly goddamn banter. Friendly fucking banter. Like, how many fucking times do I need to fucking tell you motherfuckers that this is friendly fucking banter, for Christ's goddamn cocksucking sake? You know? Anyway, I think that's my show for today. I might stream on Twitch later, so check it out. Or not, whatever. And that's it. That's all I got. That's all I got. That's all I got. I got nothing. It's over.